STAKK Nation, welcome back to the channel.
Champions.
Today, we bring to you a spectacular feat of agricultural innovation. Of course, it's tied into Bitcoin. Why else will we bring it to you? Right? Listen to this here. An Irish dairy farmer has found an unusual way to make use of the excess energy produced on his farm by turning to Bitcoin mining. This article is by Judith with a long name.
Bannerman-Quist from
Bannerman-Quist?
Cointelegraph.
Wow, that's actually surprisingly easy to pronounce. I just saw the amount of letters.
Come on, man.
Nah,
Take on the challenge.
No, sir. I'm not designed to pronounce this.
Bannerman-Quist.
It's a strong use of the letters of the alphabet. Right. we're not mad at you. Consume all 20. Actually, I have a friend who has 24 letters of the alphabet in his name.
I do have one too. It's Indian.
Incredible. But check this out. Okay. Tom Campbell, who runs a farm in the country, Northern Ireland, produces renewable energy using a method called anaerobic digestion. Sounds gross, but it's okay. This involves breaking down biodegradable material to a point where it creates methane gas, which can be used to produce electricity. And so what is happening now is this guy is producing this electricity from his farm, as he's authorized to do. And when he produces this electricity, over 700 kilowatts of electricity that he's producing from his farm, by the way.
That's a lot of cow poop.
Enough to power 12,000 households.
Dang.
Typically, he will send some to the grid, and then the rest that he cannot send to the grid goes to waste. And now, he's able to use it to mine Bitcoin.
How do you let the energy go to waste? That's the part I don't get, right? It's so centralized control. The centralized power company gets to tell you how much they're willing to take. Okay. And they tell you to go green, whereas they're busy wasting energy.
They're always wasting energy. Listen, at this point in time, okay, everyone should understand that all of this stuff is hypocritical. These people manipulate with the weather and then come and tell you that there's weather change. Of course, there's climate change. You're changing it yourself. Duh.
You gotta do a video about that, though.
Of course, there's climate change, right? It's like your kid is growing and you're like, yo, you're growing. Of course he's growing. Of course he's changing. He's growing.
You feeding him.
Right? And then you set up this financial system where it's really rent seeking, right? Or more like extortion. Mm-hmm. And then set the game up for everyone to play. Mm-hmm. The reason why this has not happened, and the reason why you've never heard of such incredible feats, right, of innovation just from the average everyday person, is because there's never been something this incredible, this pure, and this multi-purpose. I say again, this is one of the most incredible wonders of the world.
I got a new word for y'all.
What is that?
Bitcoinsynthesis. You know how you have photosynthesis? We'll call it Bitcoinsynthesis.
Bitcoinsynthesis.
Yes.
Okay. Strong word.
Hey, recycling of energy.
We should just put it on a t-shirt. It's better to do it that way because it's a difficult
Big Crypto, if you're watching this.
Oh shit, yeah, do that.
You do it and then
I'm with it.
Just pay us a percentage.
I'll pay for it. Hell yeah. Okay. Well, look, there's not been a situation where fiat has been able to create such an alignment of events.
No, you just spend. You know, you do a lot of waste to create the fiat currency, right? And all it does is create damage. It does. I mean, of course, there are points where we say we want to create recycling. Do people recycle plastic? To recycle plastic, how much energy do you cost? Fiat causes a lot more damage to the environment than Bitcoin will ever.
Well, you know, listen, there are people that believe the same thing that is told to them with no evidence. I'm going to shift gears on this thing here. The Irish government has set a goal to decrease greenhouse gas emissions by 25% by 2030. Before I continue the sentence, I want to let them know that they will fail. However, not because we hate the Irish, but geographically you're disadvantaged to the maximum. It's like saying you're trying to be a child of God, but you live in the devil's den with strippers in your face. Sir, you will fail. You understand? Failure is in your future. However, the agricultural sector in Ireland is responsible for over 35% of these emissions, they say.
7.3 million cows, bro.
Listen, if there is 35% of greenhouse gases, right, coming from cows in your country,
Damn.
maybe you all need to leave that country. It is the cow's natural habitat.
Don't be the World Economic Forum, because they're trying to shut them down. You remember they just had the bigger riot with the farmers blocking up the entire country?
This is what I'm saying. There are other things that are creating more greenhouse gases than cows.
Oh, reverse. I get it.
This is bullshit.
Duh.
This is bullshit, bro. Okay? If it is that much. Listen, when you lie, okay, you have to be measured in your lies. Okay? 35% of greenhouse gases coming from cows. It's time for all of you to just... Actually, that makes a perfect case for why we will need to stop eating meat, right? And eat all this...
worms.
Yes, whatever they're coming up
Leaves.
with, insects or whatever the heck, right? It's a setup right there. Set them up and then knock them out of the park. Listen, we live in a shady world. We don't even know what is true anymore. Question everything. Definitely question what I'm saying here, because I could be totally some bullshit, right? But nonetheless, okay, 35% of emissions coming from cows. And now, let's just go with their story. Let's say 35% is causing these greenhouse gases. It sounds like if all of them should start mining Bitcoin, it's going to reduce that number from 35%.
Kind of like what's going on in Texas.
Exactly. It will just come with a sight of full decentralization and separation of money from your government, but they will not like that now, would they?
That's unique, because now it's coming from the farmers.
The question is, which one is more important for you people? It sounds like you have a serious goal you're trying to achieve by 2025, 2030, right? So do you want to reduce greenhouse gases, or do you want to maintain control of money? Which one is more important? Which would you go for?
Before I tell you what I would go for, I just want to say that this solution here is not unique, because in Africa, people collect cow shit.
This is true.
Right? Ferment it.
Manure.
And then they use it for fertilizing either the farms, which still causes greenhouse gases because of the sun and the heat hits it and creates this form. But others are also using it for gas, for cooking.
Yeah.
Right? They just connect the stove to it, send the pipeline, and the entire village has something to cook with. Well, except for they don't have that much poop.
In other words, then, it sounds like there's other sources of energy.
It's just the beginning.
Which we could use, right, to at least mitigate the extreme abuse that we are seeing by the oil and gas companies across the globe.
Crude oil is not the only solution. Let's pack up the cow poop.
There is no way we can go fully. And I think you said this one time a while back. There's no way we can go fully
on one side or the
to
other.
one side. Especially in the time frame these people are, there has to be a combination, right? A mix for things to remain, at least at an equilibrium of some sort.
I think we sometimes as human beings think that we've found all forms of energy.
Yeah.
But we forget that we're not the only one that lives in this universe. You can use sound to move things. Sound is a form of energy.
This is true.
So, if we can use gas from cow poop to create other forms of energy, this is just the beginning. Bitcoin might just be the form of enlightenment, just like electricity created a major form of enlightenment, and now we use electricity for everything around us. This could be the beginnings of other findings with Bitcoin. Who knows?
Absolutely. It's a whole new sphere. It's a whole new beast. So I think it's best for us to just explore it instead of trying to kill it.
Bitcoinsynthesis.
Yeah. Bitcoinsynthesis. Yo, I like that. Bitcoinsynthesis. Okay. Yep. I'm with it. Bitcoinsynthesis. It's going to take a while to get used to that. Bitcoinsynthesis. This is the problem when you're too smart, man. Couldn't you have come up with this with an easier word?
How do you start the old?
You could have come up with an easier word, sir.
Dude, you started the article with an interesting name, so I figured we had that up. What was that name again?
Which one was that?
Her name was
biosynthesis something. Hang on, let's pull that back up.
What's her name? Bannerman Quest.
I thought you were gonna say anaerobic digestion.
No.
Or biodegradable.
We started the show with Judith Bannerman Quest. So we said Judith Bannerman Quest. We got some Bitcoinsynthesis.
In the name of Jesus. Bannerman Quest. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an incredible one. Bitcoin is moving us into a time that we have never seen before. This is incredible. It's new. It's like flipping over a new page. Like they say, we are writing the pages of history. We're no longer just reading it, because we know that we went and sat in class and they lied to us about a bunch of things.
Hey, bend over.
Which, now that the world... Bro, I don't know what you be up to. But... Well, that's what they're trying to do. But I think Bitcoin is bending them over this time around. But... that was so wild. Oh, man. Here's the thing, man. I think we all have to just explore this new world that is coming up, right? And just stay open-minded to all of it. It's an incredible time. Final thoughts, sir, before we close this one up. Coming up on that timer.
Word of the day. Bitcoinsynthesis.
Bitcoinsynthesis. That's the one. I like that word. Anyway, please follow us on... first of all, subscribe to the channel. Please comment, like the video, share the video, right? So on and so forth. If you ever happen to be over on Twitter thinking that you want to get at Elon, stop by, say hi to us, like our page on Twitter there. Send some recommendations. Exactly, STAKK. Send some recommendations of things you would like to see. We'll make a video about it. We are also on Facebook. I think in Jesus' day, if he was to pick a social media platform, it would have been Facebook.
What's funny? I can't take pick TikTok.
TikTok? Jesus wasn't that ratchet, man. Come on, man. They had a bit more.
He liked ratchet people.
Well, this is true.
About access to the
this
people.
man was always going in the wrong direction to go and prove that he was.
He was bringing in the word.
Okay, walking on his water and
hey, enlightenment, man.
Okay.
Are you surprised how much people TikTok up enlightened lately?
It's all good.
Just giving it to them in bits.
Exactly.
In parables.
Well, if you like to hang out closer to the devil's lair, what is that one called again?
Instagram. Go hang out with some naked chicks.
You will not see our page. We've been banned. Okay, but say hi to them for us, and then you'll see us as well on Spotify, STAKK, what it is. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, present out.